I think I did a good job, but we need to
Perfect
finish.
job. Really good job. I'm Duca.
And I'm Roberta.
And together we are building our own tiny shipping container house.
So don't forget to subscribe
And to join us every Monday for a new episode.
Well, it's about time to prepare this part of the house for the installation.
So let's start because we have a lot of welding to do. Let's go. So, ready for some welding?
Yeah.
But first, we need to grind a lot of stuff. So, angle grinder. One thing we forgot to mention is that these plates are actually left over from the shipping container, as you guys know if you watched the other episode where we did the framing of the other side of the house. But this time we're not going to show you how we did this because it's the same thing. So if you didn't watch that and if you don't know what we're talking about, you can click here, and that's an old episode where we built this. So let's get started. She's gonna practice a little bit more of welding today. That's pretty cool.
A lot of welding.
So I'm gonna do first so she see what we're doing and so I can calibrate the machine, and then it's her turn. Pretty good, huh? I'm gonna show you the quality, just a second. She's getting pretty good. That's nice job.
Thanks, teacher. I think I did a good job, but we need to
Perfect
finish.
job. Really good job.
But we need to finish this on time for Monday's episode, and today's Wednesday when we did 3 of 60.
65 around.
So Duke is gonna weld from now on because he's faster than I am.
Yeah. We'll get there. Until Monday, you guys will have this episode, hopefully, because we are really late this week.
So let's go.
Well, I know it seems like we are doing exactly the same thing we did on the first half of the house. We're just welding brackets on place to hold the framing, right? But actually, when you do something for the second time, it's a lot easier, faster, and you can fix mistakes. So, first mistake. What was the first mistake we did?
The layout of the framing.
Yeah, the thing is, on the first half of the house that you guys saw already in the past, we didn't know if we were gonna use drywall or plywood as the wall. And basically, drywall and plywood have different measurements for the boards. The boards are different. And this time, we decide already, we want to have plywood walls. That means we know exactly the dimensions of the sheet of plywood, and that helps a lot. The other thing is, in the first half of the house, we thought we were gonna use PET wool as insulation, and PET wool comes in 60 centimeters wide panels. But as you know, we didn't use this kind of insulation. We use a different kind of insulation that can be installed behind of the frame. That means we don't need to have a specific distance between studs. So we can use the distance based on the finishing. If we use 55 centimeters distance between frame, we can use a plywood without cut, and that will help a lot.
Yeah, and now it's gonna be easier because we actually are gonna install the insulation before we start framing the house.
But of course, nothing is perfect, and we have a bigger problem now, but we can talk about that later. So basically, the framing system is gonna look like this.
The idea for this week was to finish all the welding of the shipping container.
We are always optimists, you know. It's hard to be pessimist for me. I'm always optimist, but you guys are getting used to it. We are always too optimists and we never finish. But we have a reason, yeah. We always had a
I'm
reason.
always
also.
pessimist.
Or optimist, yeah, you're learning, you know. So basically, we talk about that once, but we're gonna repeat because just the way it is. Sometimes in the building, we face challenges, and when we don't know how to overcome the challenge, we decide to postpone, you know, until we get smarter, until we get like more
Confident
and we have more skills, because we're learning every day, and every week we get more skills, and then we're like, no, if we wait for 2 months, we are gonna have more skills and more ideas, creative ideas, and we can fix that so much easier in the future. But it's not always easier in the future, that's the thing.
The future is now.
Yeah, the future is now. Yeah, this week, a old challenge kicked our ass. That's the truth, let's be honest, yeah. Remember when we did the ceiling panels? We didn't finish the last ceiling panel, right? And we told you half of the truth. We're not lying to you. Yeah, that's yeah.
We said we needed to finish the door first, and for this we needed to build a canopy.
And that's true, we are not lying, but that was half of the truth. But that doesn't mean we hide things from you. That means we choose when we want to tell you things to make sense, to make it easier to... We don't want to make you confused. We want to make it easier to understand. But trust us, by the end of the building process, you're gonna know 100% of the mistakes, 100% of everything. But let's talk about the biggest biggest challenge. Most of the big challenge comes because of the shape of the house, right? As you know, we got a shipping container that was long, we cut in half, and we turned them around in order to get like an L-shaped house. And this connection between both sides of the house is just always terrible. It's good for one thing, because the house looks much bigger than if it was straight. Seems like a lot bigger because it's wider in the corner. But the connection is just always hard to work with. And this time, the problem is the support for the ceiling panels, right? I think it's easier to draw.
Yeah.
So let's draw. I like to draw. It's always cool to, you know, it's always cool to draw.
So here is the west container.
And here are the beams that support the panels for the west container. It's really easy and straightforward until the last one. The last one is the tricky one, right?
Yeah. So the problem is that there is no wall in between both containers.
That means that the last beam of the west part of the house need to support the first 4 beams of the east part of the house. So somehow we need to connect all these beams together and to create a support that holds the weight of all the ceiling panels. We thought about all kinds of ideas, you know, like we thought about having like a bigger wooden beam on the center, and then we thought that was like too big, and then we thought about having and too expensive, and then we thought about having an I-beam, metallic I-beam, but it's gonna be also too expensive. And then we decide to use all the leftovers. Yeah, it's pretty cool, because once you know, we have like a long-term project, that means that sometimes we have leftover from one project that we can use in the next one. And we still have some metals from the windows and from the support of the door. Yeah, the support in between both containers. We did
the junction.
Yeah, the junction. We have like a support, and we have like a big fat 4x8. 4x8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a 4x8 centimeters piece of metal, and that's pretty good. So basically, we're gonna try to use all these leftover metals and some wood and mix all together and do like a stronger support for the beams in the center. But that's something that we kind of know what we want, but we don't really know how to do it. And that's the reason why we didn't finish all the weldings this week, because we just took forever to think about the solution, is it?
Yeah, there is something that we never show you. That's the time we spend thinking about solutions. Yeah, like tough, this week we spent like
3 days. Yeah, like 3 days thinking. It's not that we are hiding anything from you, it's that it's hard to represent the time we keep thinking and talking and, you know, trying to come up with a solution. If you come up with an idea to how we can do that, let us know, because it's just we just don't know how to do it. But basically, we spend more time this week trying to come up with a solution than with actually building, right? The bracket was really quick, actually. We got good at that second time. But we don't know. We don't have the solution 100% yet. So let's talk about that next week. Just for now, it's too much. We talk already too much, right?
So we have a new patron this week.
Cool. New patron.
So
thanks a lot, Wes. Brownie. Brown. Yeah, I like the sign. Yeah, thanks a lot. We really, really appreciate your support. That means a lot and helps us a lot.
And we also want to thank all the patrons and apoiadores, because this week we were allowed.
Finally able.
We were able to pay for a database,
Music database.
music database.
Yeah, one of the big challenges we have every single week is to find good music for the videos.
For free. No,
Yeah, I think a video with good music makes a huge difference, and it's just tough to find. You guys must realize that we've been repeating and repeating the same songs forever, but the reason is just we cannot find other good music that we can use because
There's no copyright.
yeah, there are tons of good music, but all have copyrights. I always wanted to pay for the music database, but my boss, she said that no, you're not allowed, only when we have patrons. When we get our first patrons, we are gonna buy for the system, and we did that. Thanks, boss. Yeah, my boss she's tough sometimes. She seems nice, but she's tough, you know. It's true.
I'm the one that needs to look for good music. So I'm the one that spends a lot of time.
I look for
looking
some music also, but you do
music.
more, yeah. But it's hard. I mean, like, and once you find good music, you just end up repeating and repeating. But now we have so many good music on this database.
We just have one problem.
Yeah.
They're really good music for travel.
Yeah.
So we are always listening to the music in.
Feels
thinking
like we're
about-
traveling again. Like seems like we need to travel. Seems like next week is gonna be an episode about traveling. No, it's not gonna be. Don't worry. We're gonna finish the house. But sounds like it's just like I wish I could edit some traveling videos. I don't know if you guys know, but we traveled for 4 months straight, a year and a half ago. That's how we came up with this channel and everything. If you are curious to know how we came up with the idea for the channel, you can check out this link, and there is a playlist with 19 or 18 episodes about when we traveled to Indonesia,
Thailand,
Australia,
New Zealand.
Thailand, New Zealand, and that's it, right? Yeah, if you don't speak Portuguese, there is some Portuguese in there, so just make sure to click on the subtitles because they have subtitles in English.
Yeah.
They're not the best videos, but
It was the
we-
beginning.
yeah, it was the beginning, and we really like the travel. It's like it's like really good 4 months. We love it.
Yeah.
So we're
They
always
were really important.
and we're speaking too much
Yeah,
as usual.
as usual.
Yeah. So
We see you guys
next week. Take one and last. Today we're gonna shoot one take, and that's it, right?
Yeah. Pretty
Let's
sure.
dream about it. Yeah.
It
So-
won't happen.
What do you need to talk first?
About the brackets.
Brackets.
Hello.
The car always come when we need to.
So,
We have a problem here. Every time we want to shoot audio, see, they're selling calzone. I don't know how in eggs. That's the car that always comes up here selling stuff, and they always come to sell stuff.
you can pay with credit card.
Yeah, now you can pay with credit card. Yeah, so they always come sell stuff when we're recording.
And they say that the how can I say, the bread's
Fresh.
fresh.
Fresh and hot. I don't know how it's hot if they bring by car and they're just driving around the city, but they say it's still hot. It's all good. Yeah. Now they're coming down still. Let's wait a little bit longer.
So,
Sometimes it's hard to start talking because we just but she's the one start talking today. Yeah, it's her turn.
okay.
People complain that I speak too much, but she don't want to speak, she just wants to laugh.
Okay. Can I?
Hmm.
So, the idea for this part, no, the idea for this week. This week's idea was to finish welding.
It's on you now. You can start again.
The idea for this week was to finish. I can't stop.
We're gonna do that until she gets right.
The idea for this week was to finish welding. The idea for this week was to finish welding. You're talking, we're like.